Today I'm going to tell you all about what is big in cruise news, what is going on in Alaska with cruise ships, and the port of Le Havre in France is big news. We're also going to follow up with the Queen Anne. They've got that naming ceremony coming up, so I've got more news for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Monday, it is June 3rd of 2024, and I'd like to invite you to join us for our live this evening. We're going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Bring your questions and come ready to have a fun time talking about cruising. Now, the port of Le Havre in France is the port where, when the cruise ships stop, people like to go into Paris and do their sightseeing, go down to the beaches of Normandy, the American Cemetery, so many other places to see in that region as well. And there are also other excursions to go see. I call them like Monet sites. A lot of history there with Claude Monet, as well as just the beauty of that region. Well, cruise lines, like I said, often make port stops there, and the Regal Princess is calling there this summer as part of her British Isles itinerary. And on the last sailing, they were not able to make their port stop there in Le Havre because the port workers were on strike, so they just completely missed that port. On the sailing that is going on right now, they are due to be there on June 7th, which is the day after June 6th, when those special 80th anniversary of D-Day celebrations will be taking place. Originally, they thought that they were still going to be able to make that port stop there in Le Havre. I know that the guests on board, because one of you was so kind to send it to me. I don't know if it was to everyone on board or if it was just to those guests who had booked a Normandy excursion. But they received a notice saying, we're sorry, we're going to be able to go to the port, but we're not going to be able to do those excursions to Normandy. With that June 6th celebration to mark that 80th anniversary of D-Day, they are going to have so many dignitaries, government people, royalty, all of these people traveling there for that the security and everything that goes with that and having that program was going to make it so that they were not going to be able to do any tours down to Normandy the next day. But now we've received word that that ship, the Regal Princess, is no longer going to be able to even go to the port there in Le Havre. My guess is it has a lot to do with what's going on with the 80th anniversary of D-Day there the day before. So what are they going to do instead? They are going to be going to Belgium. Now, I don't know which port for sure, but Zeebrugge is the most popular and widely used cruise port there in Belgium. So I'm guessing that that will probably be where they are going to go. So anyone on board that ship, let me know what cruise port you're going to go to instead. Now, my heart goes out to those of you who thought you were going to get to go see everything that you were going to do from the port there in Le Havre. The beaches of Normandy are a must visit sometime in your life. It is extraordinary. And so I understand that. Paris is Paris. I don't know what else to say about that. And so I understand, and I hope that you get the chance to go another time. I want you to know, though, that all is not lost. Belgium is absolutely beautiful. There is so much to see there from that Zeebrugge cruise port. When I have looked at cruises there in the past that included that port, they had excursions that would take you into the town of Bruges. Bruges is absolutely beautiful. They've got the Bruges Madonna there, if you don't know what that is. It's a sculpture of a Madonna by Michelangelo, and that church that it is in is really beautiful to see. We have a video when Gordon and I went there last summer. That town is beautiful. They're known for their chocolate. There is so much history. You can take a ride on the canal, on a boat. Lots to do, and even if you do other things, there's so much World War I history there, of course. We drove around and saw a lot of that last year. Just so many things to see, so all is not lost, and I hope you have a wonderful day in Belgium. The port workers there, their union has released a list of the dates that they are going to strike there in the port. Now, I'm not positive they're going to stick to this schedule, but I wanted to let you know what it is, so in case your cruise. Now, we are supposed to be there on the 19th. They are supposed to strike on the 18th there, so I'm really hopeful that we get to go, but just follow along with us and you'll know. So the dates that they are planning to strike in that port are June 4th, the 6th, the 10th, the 12th, the 14th, the 18th, the 20th, the 24th, the 26th, and the 28th. And so it sounds like a lot of days they are scheduled to strike there in that port. And so it'll be interesting to see if those cruise lines plan in advance to divert to Belgium or somewhere else. So keep me up to date. If you happen to have a cruise booked and they've announced anything about that, let me know. Like I said, we'll be going on the Regal Princess departing, if you can believe it. Today is Monday, on Saturday, June 8th. And so we'll take you with us. Now, the city of Juneau in Alaska is shaking things up a little bit more as far as cruises go to Alaska, and I'm going to let you know why I think it matters to you. So first of all, clear back in 2023, the city of Juneau said, you know what, we're only going to allow so many cruise ships in port a day. And now they have pressed that even further, and starting in 2026, from Sunday through Friday, they are going to allow 16,000 guests. So it'll depend on how many people are on each cruise ship. They're going to have to navigate that. And then on Saturday, they're only going to allow 12,000 passengers in port on that day. And like I said, that's going to take place in 2026 is when those limits are going to go into effect. So I've been thinking about it. And there are a few things that really stand out to me about how this is going to affect Alaska cruises. First of all, I really do think that the itineraries that include Juneau in it are going to go up in price, right? Whenever there's that whole supply and demand thing, less supply, the price goes up. So we will see that happening, is my guess. Another thing that I want you to think about is, for a really long time when we thought of going on an Alaskan cruise, really it stood out that you went to 3 cruise ports. You went to Juneau, Skagway, and Ketchikan, and really the varying factor was whether or not you went to Glacier Bay. Those are the things that really you were looking at when you were looking at an Alaskan cruise. But you know what? Over the last few years, we are noticing more and more cruise ports creep in, which I think is wonderful because it opens up the opportunities that we have to experience more, to see more of Alaska, and to just really, really have the whole Alaska experience. And so Icy Strait Point comes to my mind. That used to be on cruise itineraries a little less frequently, more often on some of the smaller, more luxury cruise ships. They also we're seeing a lot more of some of the other ports further up as cruise ships go a little bit further up here and there. One of the ports that stuck out to me a lot is Valdez. Now, Valdez was supposed to be on Norwegian itineraries last year until at the last minute Norwegian pulled those. Like the people that lived there were ready. They had actually, they had their tours ready to go. They had ordered in everything that they would need to support a bunch of guests coming. And then Norwegian says, we're not going to go there after all. And so I really hope to see Valdez become more of a regular port. If you look at the map and see where it's situated, I would really like to get to go there and see that. So I'm guessing that with the changes that Juneau is making, we are going to see some of the smaller cruise ports receiving more cruise ships than we have in the past. And a lot, I don't know the word a lot, but I think we are going to have even more ports open up for cruise passengers. And there's been one released recently that I couldn't pronounce the name, but I think we're going to see this a lot more in the future. And so what do I think? I think that when you book a cruise to Alaska from now on, you are going to have more options than ever before. I think you'll be looking at those itineraries a little bit more closely. You're going to need to talk with your travel agent and make sure that you are choosing the itinerary that is really going to meet what you envision in your mind as what Alaska is, so that you can see the things, because it's really interesting. The cruise ports that they use are, all in Alaska, but it's amazing to me the different variety of what you're going to experience in each of the ports, and really like where the place is to do certain things. So I am really excited. I think that this is not all bad. I feel bad for some of the shop owners there that really rely on earning their annual living during the time that cruise ships come into the port, and the same with the tour conductors. But hopefully they'll all be okay. But other than that, I think this is good for cruising. I do find it interesting, let me throw this in there, that also, remember, I've told you this when Juneau talked about doing this before, they've got that whole new cruise terminal cruise pier that they're putting in there with Norwegian. And So it'll be interesting to see how they navigate trying to expand what they allow, but retract what they allow at the same time. Before we go any further, I'd like to invite you to please subscribe to our channel. Would love to see you here every day, so hit that subscribe button. It doesn't obligate you to anything. And if you appreciate my videos, please give this one a thumbs up. Thanks so very much. Okay, let's talk for just a minute about the Queen Anne. Cunard's very brand new ship, the Queen Anne, is going to be named there in the city of Liverpool. She has actually arrived there, and they're doing something kind of different this time, Cunard is. The reason they chose Liverpool, and I told you this a while ago, is because that is really where Cunard cruises originated. It was the very first transatlantic that Cunard ran took place from there, and so that's why they are going to christen their ship there. And the fun part is they have named the city of Liverpool, if you can believe it or not, as the godmother of the Queen Anne. And so as part of that, in keeping with, they chose the name Queen Anne as something that was really special to them. So they are choosing some women who are special there to the town of Liverpool for their accomplishments and their contributions as the actual representation of the city of Liverpool, who will actually participate in that naming ceremony. So let me tell you who they are. They've got the Spice Girl. She's from there. Her name Melanie C. She'll be part of it. They've got a broadcaster and a community leader. I'm going to spell her name for you because I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Ngunan, and then her last name, Adamu. They've got a local restaurant entrepreneur. Her name is Natalie Haywood. And then finally, two more, sorry. They've also got the Liverpool music and cultural legend, Jane Casey. And then finally, a British Olympian heptathlon athlete, Katrina Johnson-Thompson. And so those are the women who will be there actually at the naming ceremony to represent the city of Liverpool. Sounds kind of fun, and we'll have to keep our eye on that. So thank you all for joining me here today. I'll look for you tonight, and I'll look forward to seeing you here again tomorrow. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.